What's up guys? Today I just specifically want to talk with you about starting Amazon business or any e-commerce business. And information that I'm planning to share with you, it's actually observation of many years of mentorship running with my own businesses and also helping with the consulting with the existing businesses on Amazon or e-commerce. And one of the biggest things that I would say, there's not only one reason why people can fail or why people cannot scale or why they stop progressing and making enough money or reaching out their goals. There's actually several different factors that can actually be executed in a wrong way, and that's gonna help to actually reduce the speed of your growth or potential money that you can make. And I personally believe Amazon FBA program, it's one of the most successful programs to enter the business and financially grow step by step. And let's just dive into the several factors that I personally consider the major ones that you have to fix. Of course, beside of those factors, there's a lot of little details that you have to learn and actually adjust based on your specific business that you will be running. I personally believe that I love consumable products, but people choosing different niches, different categories, and they adjusting based on these strategies. But let's jump on a first major problem. The first major problem, people don't understand. They don't have a clear financial plan on how the business is gonna look like. They don't understand how much money they have on hands. A lot of people, when I ask, they say, okay, I just have a credit card, I'm gonna max out my limits, or I'm gonna borrow money from my friends. And it's still a good or maybe a potential way to bring finances into their business, into their idea. And maybe that's the only way, because when I moved to United States, I didn't have enough money. I was trying to bring money from different sources. Actually, it was working for me. I was flipping my time for the money, for the ideas, for the products. But one of the major thing, you have to understand how the money will flow into a business. You have to understand how much fees you're gonna pay to Amazon. What's your potential marketing expense, PPC? Maybe you're gonna hire some employees. Maybe you're gonna pay additional money to your designer. There's a lot of different fees involved in the process to start a business. A lot of people, they don't even know there's a free fees calculator by Amazon exists. If you need to access to this calculator, please see the comments under this video. I'm gonna leave important resources that you have to click and check this out yourself. Make sure you pre-calculate those things. Without these calculations, you pretty much have no go. Also, storage fees, logistical fees, delivery to Amazon, removals, refunds, all these things, they're extremely important to run profitable business. And I know sometimes it's much easier to just dive in and figure out on a way, but I want to make sure while you're trying to figure out, you don't go broke. And that's the important part. Make sure you learn these fees, especially we have an upcoming Q4, whereas fees for Amazon is actually growing. Amazon limiting your storage and inventory levels, and that's also have to be considered. Sometimes you want to send enough inventory to Amazon, but you already reach your limits. Pre-calculate, read and learn about the platform of Amazon or any other e-commerce platform you're dealing with. Make sure you follow the rules, policies and expectations that they have for you as a potential partner. With this being said, the inventory levels is extremely important when you're buying enough inventory to run profitable business or to run enough business. When you have a spikes, promotions, when you're just entering the market and you're trying to capture people attention, your potential customer attention with the ads, ranking strategies, with influencers, you have to have enough inventory to actually go through the process of people trying your products and making sure Amazon algorithm, Walmart algorithm, eBay, e-commerce, wherever you selling platform on, is actually have enough inventory to grow your business. Let's say if we're talking about Amazon, if you have less than 30 days of inventory worth on Amazon already start to reduce your visibility and your traffic on its platform. Meaning, for example, if you have less than 30 days of inventory, they're gonna cancel 1-day delivery. Also, your inventory, when you send it to Amazon, have to be evenly distributed across different fulfillment centers. If you're selling only 100 units or 200 units, it's just simply not enough for Amazon to accept and distribute this, I would say, good enough. This will prevent you from growing your algorithm, from growing impressions, and from growing you organically on Amazon. Also, in addition, when you have enough inventory, let's say you have overstock of inventory, then it's much easier to work with the influencers, much easier to work with the promotions. Let's say if you have only 500 units, if you start to sell 10-20 units a day, you have only 20-25 days of inventory worth. And if your production cycle, meaning the moment you reach out to your factory, place the deposit, make the production, deliver to Amazon, and during the peak seasons, sometimes delivering to Amazon doesn't take 5 days or a week. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 weeks to Amazon to accept your inventory and make this available for sale for your customers. So all these little details are extremely important, and that's why I'm trying to share with you this in advance. While you're preparing yourself for making a lot of money, you still have to learn fundamentals to make sure you go through the process and you're constantly adjusting and growing as an entrepreneur, because you become an entrepreneur and there's a lot of issues you will need to solve during and while you're building your business. So with saying about inventory, I have an amazing example. I remember back in the days when I just started one of my first products, I was selling matcha green tea powder. It was 2013 and it was amazing. And I started to place my orders 1,000 units at the time with my supplier, but his production cycle was about 4 weeks. I was constantly running out of stock and I didn't have enough finances. So I was even thinking to sell part of my company. Then I reached out to another bigger supplier and make the deal with them to buy an entire container of inventory wars. And because I pre-negotiated this plan before, I was buying product for $9.75 per unit. When I make the deal to buy entire container, I was able to negotiate price to $1.89 per unit. So it was container containing about 20,000 units. That's helped me to buy entire container with pretty much just a double of the money. So I just took my credit card, max out, bought enough inventory, and this entire container helped me to speed up with the marketing and process. And in that days, I remember there was a guy, very famous guy, Dr. Oz. He mentioned about matcha and market just exploded. We was making about $60,000 to $80,000 profit per one SKU on Amazon per month. It was incredible times. You still can hit these times nowadays if you properly strategically choose the product and go properly with UGC, content creation, with the outside traffic. All this little details about marketing strategies you can always learn on my other videos, and that's gonna help you to actually expand your potential ideas and strategies during peak seasons or running and growing your Amazon business, because there will be a lot of things that you have to solve during the growth stage. I would say one of the also important parts of running e-commerce business, because you're working with the physical products, that's the real people buying your product, you have to make sure your product quality, product expectation by the customer as what you actually advertising. I'm not talking about trying to produce the shitty quality, because that's pretty much the worst you can do for your business for the long term. Maybe some people they use this type of strategies just to make money quick, but it's actually not the way how we build the business. We try to make one of the most superior and premium quality for the products. I would say product have to be good enough for the customers that are looking for the specific product. The product have to be functional to make sure people experience a quality of the product or they're getting results out of the product. And you have to make sure the instructions of using your products are clear, because sometimes when you buy products, let's say on Amazon, there's no clear instructions and a lot of people getting confused how they exactly to install, use or utilize the specific product, powder, pills, I don't know, hamster accessories. That happened to me when I remember I bought this hamster cage, trying to set it up. I went on Amazon, I see the product was actually amazing after you set it up, but reviews was 3.2 only because everyone was complaining about complexity of the instructions. And I thought to myself, why this company not just trying to explain properly how to install the product? I record a simple explanation video how to use your product, or if you sell tea or supplements, try to make a book with the recipes. Maybe it will be ebook with the recipes, or maybe try to place them on your own website where anyone who land on the website, they can see the instructions how to use the products with the what frequency to make sure you're getting the most results out of product usage. That's, I would say, one of the most extreme or one of the most important part of functional products, that you have to explain people how to properly use them to make sure they're satisfied with what they purchased. This way, first of all, you're gonna have a halo effect where people like your product and they start to recommend your product to their friends. They start to buy your products as a gift for someone else. And also you're gonna reduce amount of returns and refunds by the customers. And you know, on Amazon sometimes could be a problem. In our catalogs, we see the refunds going up to 3% and usually less than 1%. If the refunds in our catalogs go over 3%, we immediately take a look what's going on with our products, if there are any mistakes in the packaging or seal or something else, because technically the products that we sell in are not intended to be returned. It's usually we use a lot of consumable products like skincare, shampoos, and pretty much if people find our products and they try our products, they just love our products. I personally use our products. It's not to promote our products. I'm just saying we're extremely focused on the premium quality ingredients, active ingredients that help people to actually get results of what they expect in. And I would say one of the last things that I want to consider as a success factor, you have to make sure you have enough finances to go through the process of building up your business. A lot of people, they expect business to go too fast, and they expect business to bring money fast enough because they've seen someone else making money on some similar product ideas and they think their product are going to be better. But I would say always try to double the time. So if you launch an Amazon business, I would say don't expect to make money faster than 3-6 months. And I would say to build up the business stably, you will probably need about 10 to 12 months if you understand and you actually fully involved in the business. And sometimes one of the last things, people just don't put enough time into building and analyzing and improving their business. Sometimes you just simply don't put in enough hours to actually build up the business, to build up the trust, to optimize your products. They think sometimes Amazon is an ATM, and only because they produce a product with a pink packaging that will be flashy, people have to buy it. It doesn't work this way. Guys, learn about e-commerce and why people buy your product in advance to make sure you don't hit wrong expectations. I would be happy to see you on the next video. Please make sure you click subscribe button, make sure you watch the videos, make sure you progress, and I will see you on the next video soon. Bye.